And what do we say?
What up, chat?
Hey, chat. Okay. How do I want to do this? Well, we'll do this one. Revealed. Okay. So today we're learning Markdown. Why down? The internet runs in HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language. In this class, I'm not going to have you do hypertext. What is hypertext? Text with links in it. So I wasn't going to have you link out necessarily to other pieces of the internet. Though links will come up from time to time, that's not going to be the focus. Hypertext markup language looks heinous. It looks like this. I think this is bad.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, so I didn't want to make, well, I mean, I did want to make you write this, but I chose not to make you write this, right? And this stuff is generated by a program. I can handwrite this stuff, and in fact I do, but usually people auto-generate it, right? So this is HTML. HTML is, one of the ways of styling text. The sort of emerging way of styling text for taking notes and just communicating things on the internet is probably now Markdown. And Markdown is supposed to have one feature that HTML doesn't have, which is in exchange for a very high degree of precision we have in HTML, where I can literally move things, pixel precision, change colors with exact hex codes, things of this nature. It's nice to have that level of control, but it sort of means that I have to make a lot of design decisions myself. Markdown is meant so that if you open it in a text file, you can still read it. It just doesn't look as nice. And then if you put it in a Markdown formatter, it will show up as formatted text. I want to give you one example of a Markdown formatter. So this is the website for this class. Today we're looking at Markdown. This perhaps looks like a typical website to you, but it is just based on this Markdown. I want to show you what this looks like so you can kind of perhaps believe that it is relatively easy to read versus HTML. I have single octothorpe prefixed headings, double octothorpe prefixed subheadings. I have a title. I do have a setting here, so usually I would not want to expose this, that I'm not showing the line numbers in code. That might be ugly, right? So maybe we don't want to see that. Bullet points are separated by a dash, so I would argue that this is quite readable. You are welcome to, in fact, think that this is more readable than the sort of styled text we have here, right? But there's a close correspondence. They're quite similar. To be extremely pedantic about this and make the point in the most extreme way possible, let's put them side to side. I have so many tabs open. And we can see like the literal one-to-one. Why Markdown? What is Markdown? Different Markdown, and so on. So I'm using Markdown for everything, forever, because I think it's a good technology. Okay, so why Markdown? Way of styling and writing text. I could assign you to submit something in a .doc or a .pdf. Why would I do that? Those technologies are like 25 years old. I stopped using .doc literally the day I showed up at college, and I have never opened Microsoft Word since then. It is confusing to me that other people with college educations use Microsoft Word. I understand why they use Microsoft Word. There are alternatives, and I believe the alternatives are better, so I'm teaching you the thing that I think is better. I would rather use HTML than Microsoft Word, but I would rather use Markdown than HTML. My impression is Markdown has become the standard for scientific computing. The closest thing that's actually competing with it is something called LaTeX, which is a little bit too heavyweight to teach this term. Markdown is not a programming language. It is not a markup language, so it is not like Python, and it is not like HTML. It is sort of a loose set of goals and agreements. So it is what I'm calling a fairly open standard. It is much closer to a natural language. It is much closer to something like English. I'm going to put a word on the board. DRAIL. Is that a word in English?
Derail.
It's possible.
It's possible, right? So this is in some dictionaries and not others. It's the portmanteau
It is a
of
word.
drag and trail, right?
Wow.
So maybe this is a word, maybe it's not. It's not widely agreed upon, and not everyone that considers themselves to speak English has the same opinion on whether this is a word or not. Markdown is much closer to that. Is this a built-in function in Python? The answer is no. We have an objective true-false, right? So versus English, in Python we have yes/no answers. In English we have fuzzy answers. In Markdown we have fuzzy answers. There are two really popular forms of, no, there's one really popular form of Markdown, which is GitHub Markdown. I thought GitHub owned Markdown. I made that up. Here's an example of something I used GitHub Markdown for. These are my Pikes Peak Marathon splits. So I wrote this in GitHub Markdown, took a screenshot of this, and then texted this screenshot to my family because that was the easiest way I could think of to make a table. I want to show you what this looks like. So this is being rendered on GitHub. It's showing up in a certain way on GitHub. If we look at the raw, this is not as easy to see, but you can perhaps pick out visually some of the vertical bars that are breaking up the columns. And in fact, if I wanted to pop this in Vim, I could even out all of the columns and it would show up evenly as well. So this is something we commonly see on GitHub. There's a better example looking at GitHub, which is NumPy on GitHub, probably. NumPy has a very nice description of the language that is present on GitHub. And you can take a look at this and think about it whatever you like. But this styling might look a little bit similar to you, and it probably should. This is also Markdown. And we can look at either the styled Markdown, or we can look at the raw, or perhaps the code. And so this is what the Markdown for the NumPy description looks like. So Markdown is all around us. It is mostly what we've been reading this term. And I think it's time for me to teach you some Markdown so that you can write Markdown about the code that you write so that that can be the basis of your midterm assignment. Okay, so that's the goal here. Now, generally speaking, when I write Markdown, I either write it inside GitHub or I write it with a full-featured framework that compiles into, that takes my Markdown and turns it into a full website, which is what these are. I don't want to teach you all of that because it's too heavyweight today, so I am instead going to recommend the use of what I believe is Dillinger, and we looked it up. That G is pronounced as the J in jam, so I have to get the J in there somehow. So it can't be Dilling, or it has to be Dillinger, I think. Obsidian is also popular. I know less about Obsidian, but I think you can download Obsidian if you want, and you can have one on your device. If I were you, I would finish my entire undergraduate career taking notes in Markdown. You don't have to do that, but I would. I want to relate this back to Git and GitHub. You all, in theory, watched the GitHub setup guide while I was indisposed, though I'm like kind of just always indisposed now, so that was a special case. Did you notice I'm standing up today?
I did notice that.
My doctor told me not to do that, and I self-diagnosed with an anterior ankle impingement. And then I reset the tendons myself, and now I feel great. So the moral of the story is, don't listen to MDs, listen to PhDs, okay? All right. So, probably my ankle's just going to explode in 2 years. I'll be like, oh, that's why. Okay. This is related to GitHub in the manner I showed you, but one of the components of scientific computing that I think is underappreciated, and underappreciated especially when we're teaching undergraduates, is scientific publication, right? So I think frequently we teach our undergraduate students how to write 5-page essays that have an intro paragraph and a conclusion paragraph and then support, and do you all know this? Is this right?
Nah.
And that's terrible, right? We all know that's terrible. And one of the reasons that's terrible is now it is very, very easy to procedurally generate such essays, right? It remains quite difficult to get LLMs to generate Markdown, which I know because every day I ask them to make my slides for me and they can't do it, right? So I keep asking and they keep saying absolute nonsense, right? So I am teaching you a skill that has not yet been replaced by AI as well. And the skill is very useful because it's a dense way to communicate information, and frequently as scientists we are communicating dense information. So when you are writing Markdown about your code, you should be explaining in detail what the code does to someone that does not know Python. You all know Python now, but helpfully you probably know little enough of Python you can still explain what is happening, right? So you are the ideal audience to be writing this stuff. Let's conceptualize this. We're going to imagine that we are describing some code like tax.py. I wonder if I have a tax.py. Nope. I'm going to list my Python files. I don't have anything. Do I have anything in temp? Probably not. Okay. So we're going to imagine we have a tax.py. No problem, we can find one of those. Let's see. Exercise? Oh, we can just take one of these, right? Where's the solution? Okay, we'll cheat. Okay. I have some code. I'm going to call this chart.py. I'm going to save it. That looks like it's working. I'm going to, I changed programming languages there. I'm sorry, I started writing the C programming language, which I'm not even teaching this term. Okay, so this is chart.py. I can Python chart.py, it takes a moment, and then I can open sorbitals.svg. And this is the thing that I was hoping you would make. Did you all make this?
I did make it.
You did make it? You didn't make it? Did you try? Did you try? So, I get 9 hours a week from you. Where is it? Oh, let me find the Cillium Billion bus. SciComm. You all agreed to this syllabus, I think. College policies. I don't know. Hour. No, okay, you didn't. You're fine. You're safe. Okay, you can spend as much or as little time on this as you want. You're protected. Okay. Why do I have so many tabs open? Does anyone know what I'm doing? Okay. So I'm describing some code, and I'm not describing tax.py. I'm describing chart.py because I found that first. I may wish to link to primary source documents on tax policy. That is not actually a perfect parallel, but I do think I have some links in here because I linked to these two things, right? And in fact, I linked to those two things using Markdown. So I might want to be able to form hyperlinks. I might wish to create paragraphs, and I might wish to create numbered and unnumbered lists. I might wish to embed images, especially the image I just created. And I might want to use rich, bold, or italic text, and usually call that rich formatting. In an email, I would call that a richly formatted email, right? So we should do all of those things today. We're going to do this in Markdown, and we're going to use existing common typographical characters. Specifically, I'm going to use things that I can hit on my keyboard with a single chord, so shift something usually, or alt something. I'm going to be able to turn it into HTML, and it is going to be human readable before and after I turn it into HTML. I'm able to write it in any text editor, and I can write it in a Markdown editor. Okay. I'm going to introduce, I don't know why this is here, but it's here. Okay. Oh, yes, I'm saying people had to use this many times. Okay. So we're going to introduce Markdown. Okay. So previously you have seen comments. Let's take a look at how well commented my code is. Oh, there's not a single comment. Oh, wait, no. Oh, okay, there's 2 comments. So say I were not really clear on what the bore radii is. That's a problem, because No one says what the Bohr radii are. In fact, I don't even know what the Bohr radii are. I would have to look it up myself. Do you all know what the Bohr radii are? You're all in chemistry. Oh, okay, we don't know what they are? Okay, I assumed you would. It is a physical constant approximately equal to the most probable distance. Okay, it's the distance an electron is from the nucleus. Duh. Y'all didn't know that? I mean, I know it now, so it seems like I would just assume that everyone has already known that. Did you know? Okay. Did you take chemistry?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago? Back when the Earth was still cooling?
It was just freaking.
That's a trick. The Earth is still cooling, folks, right? The inside. The outside is getting warmer.
Same place,
It's a bit of a
different thing.
switcheroo. Okay. Okay. So, you all are probably not writing enough comments as a rule. No one writes enough comments. And I can verify that by looking at my own code and being like, what does R3S mean? Do you know what R3S means?
Red?
Red? Did you say red?
I mean, I thought I saw a red color on the chart.
What do you think it means?
You were doing 3 different graphs for the function.
Can you tell that from this code?
I'm honestly just giving you a guess because that's math, and there were 1, 2, 3, and specifically that looks like it's a function.
Okay. Good guess. By the way, this was the homework assignment, so you're all familiar with this. This is the solution, so you all wrote this yourself, right?
Similar.
Yeah. Okay. Similar. I like that. Yes. It like perhaps it looks slightly different, and that's why you don't recognize it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So here I helpfully label R3S as R3S. Let me motivate the discussion of the homework assignment a little bit. So all of the other CC instructors are sending out their grade distribution on their first assignment, and it's getting more and more awkward. I haven't set that out over time, right? So like a really nice thing would have been, oh, our first assignment was to make a graph, and I saw every student had made it before I left class on Monday, right? That would have been cool. Just thinking out loud. Separately, we have one other announcement. We're going to the library on Wednesday.
Yay, sweet.
Do you know how that works?
You know what works?
Going to the library? Did you ever visit
Yeah.
in your CC? Do we meet over there, or do we meet here then walk over?
Going to the library?
Yeah, to meet the science librarian. Okay. Do you want to meet there, or do you want to meet here and walk over?
Here.
Are we going to come back here after?
Probably not. Oh, you're supposed to bring your computers, which... We're going to meet at the circulation desk of the library at noon.
No, let's just
Circulation.
Is that like the main store desk?
When you walk in, I think the
Okay,
first
so-
desk is the circulation desk. The librarians assume we all know what that means, but I'm pretty sure that means.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. You said this is next class?
This is next class. This is on Wednesday.
Okay.
Put a
Tomorrow,
note.
just
Put
tomorrow.
a note in your calendars tomorrow. Exactly 48 hours from now. Yes, thank you.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Comments are good, but they would be even better if there was an accompanying README file for this document. So we're going to introduce Markdown. First thing we'd have in Markdown is text. Okay. I can show examples of this by putting Markdown in the left column and how it is rendered on the right. Here is one example. The first thing I can do is I can put unremarkable text in a Markdown document, and it shows up unremarkably. Let's do this in Dillinger. Unremarkable text. And there you have it. It shows up as unremarkable text. Okay? I can also make text bold using 3 different mechanisms. I only ever use one of these, but I'm going to show you all of them. Why is the terminal still open? Okay. We can make text bold using double asterisk before and after the text, like so. That is one way to make text bold. We can also use double underscores underscores, like so. Double underscore, so. I pressed Control S by accident, okay. We can also use HTML style, these are called tags. Tags, like so. And I'm going to use, I think that's less than sign, strong, greater than sign, so, and then I'm going to use less than sign, slash, strong, so, okay. And that doesn't work in Dillinger, so we're canceled, okay? Boom, done. Does not exist, okay. Why do I keep hitting Control S? I'm so used to saving work after I write it that I'm doing it even though I'm typing in a web page, right? Do you ever like type in your password and then press escape:X? Good, you're safe. That happens to me all the time. Did I say I was like trying to drive here? I drive like this. I was driving down from Portland. I call it Portobello, down to Salami, right? And so I'm like driving, and I was in the middle lane, and there was a slow-moving vehicle in front of me, and I wanted to change to the left lane. So I moved my hand to press H on my keyboard because that's the BIM motion. And there was no keyboard, and also my car didn't move when I did that. And I was like, oh, right. And then I went like this. I turn with my entire body, right? It's quite fun. Okay. I'm just going to close this. We'll open it again if we need it. Okay, we can make text bold. We can make text italic. How do we do that? I use single. We can italicize with single asterisk, like this, or single underscore, like this. Oh, we can't see it over here. Scroll down. No problem. Are you having fun yet?
What's the difference between double and single underscore?
Bold versus italics.
Are you following along?
Yeah.
Then look.
Never mind. I didn't look at the right side.
Okay. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. It is not always super easy to get strike through, and I use strike through a lot of times when I'm trying to show that I've like intentionally made changes to things or something. We'll try this in Dillinger and see what happens. We can use the tilde. Can use the tilde character. I call it tilde. It's above tab. It's on the back tick under escape to strike through. What? Why did my? I don't think I did that. Strike through. That made it look okay. So I guess that is subscript. And double tilde, perhaps, to strike through. When is subscript useful? Imagine H2O. I did a 0. And so that is a way you can stylize chemical formulas. Let's do a more complicated one. Is this fructose C6H12O6? That is a sugar. I don't know which sugar. Does anyone know what sugar that is?
Nope.
Oh, it's a bunch of them.
Oh, it's glucose.
It's glucose?
Yes, it is. I do know.
Consider.
So you're basically spot on with sugar.
Well, yeah, but that's like correctly guessing that someone's home address is on Earth.
Yeah.
So there's C6H12O6. You can overlap. You can place one formatting inside of another formatting, but you can't split the formatting. How do we demonstrate this? Okay, so I can make it first bold, then also italic, then only bold. That's fine. I cannot overlap bold with bold and italic with italic. Do we see how that works? And I'm going to switch to underscores to make this a little more clear, so I'm going to underscore the italic. And we can do that here as well. And this is one reason to have asterisks and italics, so you can do both.
Underscore is just another bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't work. So if you want to have bold and italic, then only italic, what do we have to do? We have to start and end the italics so that we do not overlap with the bold. So you can only put formatting inside of other formatting. You cannot put it across other formatting. This is essentially related to Markdown having to know how many formattings you've added on and then only being able to take them off in order. We often require subscripts and superscripts. I don't know the graceful way to do superscript, and I'm not sure if I can get this to work in Dillinger, so let's take a look at, we want x squared, and I would usually do that as super. Is that going to be allowed? Nope. Superscript Dillinger. Superscript. How? Uses double these things. And that doesn't work in GitHub, so that's why I only do it here. Okay, so that's how we say x squared. We can prefix and suffix with carets. I think those are called carets to get superscript. When do we get superscript? I think if you have a positive helium-3 ion, which is, so that would be 2 protons, probably 2 neutrons, and 1 electron, expressed as He sub 3 superscript plus. I think that's okay. I don't know enough chemistry to say that's how you're supposed to do that, but I think that's fine.
I feel like it might be. It's just you're saying there's 3 heliums. So it could be
No, this is helium with atomic weight 3 and a positive charge.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually, we know how much that is. 1 neutron.
Oh, okay.
How do they stylize it? Oh, they do pre 3. That's crazy. Okay. So we actually want. Apparently that's helium-3. I don't know chemistry. Okay. What's next? Okay. It is wicked hard to get underline in Markdown. Underline has really aggressively fallen out of favor as a formatting technique. Did you learn bibliography citation in high school, and did they tell you to underline things?
No.
Some no, some yes, right? So I think they were still telling me to underline things. Almost universally recommendation for education now is never teach students to underline anything. Underline always means hyperlink. There's still some older styles around. It is pretty hard to put underlines in Markdown for that reason. I'm guessing if I try and put this in, and so will this underline, question mark, I don't know. No, it highlights it, right? So I get a different form of emphasis. No, we get a different form of emphasis. Is there a way to get underline? I don't know. no underline. So I haven't reliably been able to underline things in Markdown. And I think that's good. I think you shouldn't want to be underlining things. Quotations are really nice. Obviously, you can use quote marks. I heard the sound of someone not believing me. Okay, obviously you can use quote marks. Really? Really, can you? I'm not seeing it over here. Oh, I have to scroll down. I like Dillinger because it looks nice. I don't know why it won't auto-scroll. That is so annoying. Like, how many times have I manually... Okay. Okay. This is what the HTML looks like, by the way. Okay. So, obviously you can use quote marks. I prefer block quote. I love this. This is how I like to break up text for you all. You have seen this many times. All of the Wikipedia that's in my slides is in block quote. It is just styled just like this. Make sure you know what happens when you have adjacent blocks. And so Dillinger helpfully splits the line. Not everyone does this. This is a very nice feature. So sometimes it's hard to tell blocks apart. Can you do that multiple times? Dillinger collapses all of them. Quarto does not. Quarto will give you a big thing. So maybe we can do, I don't know. I think that's fine. Quotes. This is block quote. I did Weni Weedy Weesey and Om Mane Padme Hum, but I don't know, like whatever you want to quote. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce this because I don't know any languages because I attended public school in the United States of America, so I don't really even know English, right? But my understanding is this is, I believe, the first sentence from the Bhagavad Gita, which I don't know if that's true. But you can take non-Latin characters and put them inside Markdown, and I think it works just fine. So we will say, despite our human limitations, Markdown is not necessarily limited to Latin characters. And I'm pretty sure English uses Latin characters. I don't know. I don't know anything. Okay. The most useful thing for you in a scientific context, not necessarily in a styling context, is the ability to put code inside of Markdown. This is very nice. Usually we do this with the backtick character, and there's often two ways to do this. We can place a single inline in the same line code expression like print hi within single backticks, and we'll place it, and so that looks like code in some sense, right? Oh, well, that looks like code to me, we think, right? Or we can place larger code blocks, perhaps, within separated triple backtick. I have to call them blocks again. For example, we can say import numpy as np. I just put a period at the end of my sentence because I felt like I was typing. That's not true. I don't put periods at the end of your sentences in Python. What should we do in numpy? Let's make an array that is equal to np.array of 1, 2, 5, 7. And that will show up on distinct lines.
I've seen this before, and so basically, I took a midterm for my data science, and he made an RMD file, and it had the 3 ticks.
Yes, yes. Our Markdown is based on Markdown. Yeah. The website is made with an old R Markdown engine that now just works on regular Markdown. Some of you may know and love syntax highlighting, which is when not all of the code is the same color. To syntax highlight your Markdown code blocks, specify the file extension after the 3 backticks preceding the code block. Did that sound complicated? Too bad it's not. Okay, import numpy as np, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, plt.plot np.array 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Oh, I should do 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 because then it's the Fibonacci sequence, right? I was just YOLOing numbers. Oh, it's 2 1s. Hold on. I nerd sniped. Okay. This is getting small. No syntax highlighting. Or is there no syntax highlighting there? I can't tell from looking at the screen. Is this green?
No.
Okay, my brain's just not working. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, love it here. Okay. Oh, it's more green visibly to me this time. Can you see that at all from where you're sitting?
I can see the second half, not the first half.
Okay. And then I think the numbers are like turquoise or something. I pressed a button to turn that on. It doesn't seem to care. The machine uprising has begun. Okay. This is triple backtick. This is syntax highlighting. I'm teaching another class, or we can do this in R probably. So we can syntax highlight this as R. Nothing works because it's not R. We change back to Python, we can do it. Does anyone know any R? Also works with other languages. All right, I'm going to try and write some R in front of you, and none of us are going to know if it's working or not. 2, 3. Wait, if you don't know R anyways, why don't I just pick a language I do know? So, you can style other languages. And if I change this to Python, it explodes? No, it's fine. It thinks that's okay? That's so weird. Well, anyways, I don't know any languages. Sad emoji. See, there's emojis. And there's also real emojis. Sad emoji? Typesetting's awesome. This is, so my pitch is we should teach this, and then people will be tricked into taking notes in class,
Yeah.
right?
I would be tricked.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Lists.
I would practice my Markdown
Yeah.
skills.
And also, like, it used to be a lot harder, and now you can just do it in Dillinger, so it's much nicer. That said, I don't totally know how to save this, but I'm guessing you can just throw it into Google Drive or GitHub. Do any of you use Dropbox? Cringe,
Yeah, I
right?
have
Oh,
to,
yes.
just because I have to turn my lab notebook into a PDF.
It's really nice right now.
Yeah, lovely.
What format is your lab notebook?
Turn it up.
My lab notebook is a physical piece of paper.
Okay. It seems like that would be done with a scanner.
You would think.
I would think that, yeah. One of my hairs fell out and is stuck in the E key on my keyboard, so I'm pulling it out. I'm going gray. Okay. And I'm still not getting paid more, right? I thought the social contract was you start losing your hair pigment and you get paid more, right? So I tried to go gray as quickly as possible by doing extremely stressful things to myself, and I'm still getting paid the same amount. Okay. So, big sentence wants you to write sentences. They want you to have subjects and predicates. And what do I say to that? I say, no, bad. And I do underscore, in order to get bulleted lists. What do we think of pros? No bad. Okay. You can also asterisk prefix bulleted lists. And for some reason, ChatGPT always does it this way, even though I hate it.
You hate what? ChatGPT?
Yes, I hate ChatGPT.
It's gonna come for you.
No, it won't come for me. It's an inanimate object. Animate object. Have you heard the BDG robot uprising?
What the frick?
Sorry, we're taking an art break.
Yay.
Oh, I cannot play this. I'm gonna get banned. Okay.
What'd you do?
I almost played someone else's video on YouTube from YouTube while I was streaming on YouTube.
Oh.
It's entire. Let's check.
I love copyright.
I'm not banned yet. Oh gosh. Did I close it in time? I think it detects the sound better. We'll see if I get this. The channel is about to go away forever if I got caught for that. That's okay. I only have hundreds of hours of video content that I can't reproduce. Because I made it all in character, and I'm not that character anymore. I've grown and changed. You're allowed to nest things. You can nest things.
Can't find out what that means.
For example, you can have outer lists with inner lists. Let's see. I'm pressing tab. I'm pressing dash with inner elements. You can keep indenting. And then basically, depending on your Markdown, I don't know, renderer, eventually it will stop working. Probably. Maybe it will be fine forever. And so, this is how you can indent across. To me, when should you stop using this? We get full circles, open circles, full boxes, so you should probably just only go 3 deep, because it starts looking weird after that. But it's not like the Markdown explodes, right? It still looks fine. How do you get back out to the higher level? Just unindent. Unindent. Same as Python. And so you can go back out. It reads the white space. Okay. That's how you make nested lists. You can also make numbered lists. This is really hard to show, which is why these slides exploded. But there's some interesting things about numbered lists. I think if you just say 1 a bunch of times, so Dillinger automatically put a 2 there. It's giving me a 2. 1. What's this going to look like? So Markdown will overpower your numbers and fix them correctly. This is really nice if you realized you forgot to put the second thing in your list of 17 things. So I just put 1 every time. It might be the case you can change what you start on.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, you can change what your starting value is, but nothing else. I don't think you can usually start at 0, which to me is kind of a huge problem. 0, 1. Works in Dillinger, does not work in GitHub, I don't think. But you can in Dillinger. You can also make checkboxes. This might not work in Dillinger. This is, I think, a GitHub thing, but we can try it. Can we make a to-do list? So I'm going to make a sort of numbered list as ever, right? I'm going to do bracket, and I throw in a space. You don't always have to. Dillinger's changing the color based on what I do, so I don't know. Do this. Don't do that. Walk the dinosaur, which is always the last thing on your list. Do you all remember to walk your dinosaurs this weekend?
Yes.
Correct. Clickety, clackety, clunk. Look how fun that is. Also, we can, you can click them over here, or you can throw a little Xaroonie in here, and some of them will start pre-populated. And you do have to put in the space in Dillinger, so it changes what it does otherwise. Remember the space. If you put in the same text as me, you'll get the same results.
Still doesn't do it.
Huh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
If you copy-paste this code into Dillinger, does it work?
Let me try. Nope.
So if you copy-paste this into Dillinger, what do you see?
It's honestly just the same code on the right side.
Let me see.
It's very strange. I even tried the bullet points and it wouldn't pop up.
For this in a code block.
It's in what?
It's in a code block.
Oh. What does that mean?
It means
Review the slides.
all of this is a code block. That's like the normal text.
Oh, I see. Frick my life.
Is this better or worse?
It's better. It wasn't like super bad
How am I
before
stuck in the
though.
code block? How do you
But it
exit
doesn't hurt.
Okay, so now started a code block by doing this. Hold on. That's like
Line breaks are a little non-obvious. The best way to do this is just to figure out how things work.
Wait, where? Whatever that.
Line break,
right here. Okay.
line break.
There we go.
We'll do line break 0, line break 1, line break 2, line break 3. So I'm going to do each one of these says how many open lines are after it. What's going on here? We get the same number of open lines if we put, so these things are the same distance from each other. So Dillinger doesn't care how many lines of white space are between things.
What if I want the white space?
I don't know. In the non-Dillinger formats, I do HTML white space there, which is just BR for line break, but that doesn't work here. There might be a way to put like only white text on a line. Color? No color. Line break? Let's see, break. Trailing white space is not supported, but you can press the Enter key once to achieve the same result. Okay. So they're claiming it doesn't work. I don't know. There's ways with GitHub, just try stuff out. Invisible line breaks are very annoying, and a backslash is often preferred. Okay, backslash breaks lines. Oh, maybe that, okay. Can I do an internal line break in Dillinger? that correct? Backslash breaks lines, just like 2 spaces. Can I do 2 spaces? Yeah. None of the line breaks work in Dillinger. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It doesn't work. This doesn't work. So Dillinger doesn't work. Links. Links are fun. What is everyone's favorite 20 to 30 pound North American wildcat that is well adapted to the winter?
Bearcat.
Lynx?
It's the
Bearcat's
lynx.
not North American.
Yeah, bearcats are from Narnia.
Lynx?
Yeah. I think those are smaller or bigger.
Bobcat, they're smaller.
Ironically, bearcats
Bobcat,
are Asian,
weight.
Which is kind of funny that we have it as a
Yeah.
mascot.
Females are
They
I
bobcats are
only Googled
smaller.
it
They don't
because,
have like long
At first I thought
ears.
that bearcat
They have,
was.
like,
Yeah,
ears.
don't buy this. This is because the male bobcats are misogynist and they eat before the women.
Yeah, it like would.
Yeah.
Oh, the lynx is dummy thick.
Oh.
Look, dummy thick. Look how juicy this lynx
We
is.
call it dummy thick.
That's a dummy thing, lynx right
Yeah, she's got the long things on its ears. But I don't think bobcats have that.
Yeah. Sorry, don't put in the course of vowels that I called a lynx dummy thick, okay?
That might be what you said.
No, the plastic one.
Hair cows.
They didn't
I
like it.
don't know if they live in North America.
Okay, let's put in a linkaroony.
Lynx are weird, dude.
It could be either.
Oh, so you say lynx are weird?
Yes.
They're cows. They can jump so freaking high.
Coyotes are.
This link will link to links.
Is it coyote?
Link.
Is it coyote or coyote? I remember people call it coyote.
It's like a nickname.
Coyote is a Colorado regional. It's very uncommon. Yeah.
Them coyotes.
Yeah, there was one.
Okay, well, so none of you were paying attention there. Sorry, I'm gonna do this again. Okay, so I put some link text inside boxy brackets, and then I do parens after it. I'm getting my link. I'm copy pasting it from the address bar. Right? I'm getting it. Right? I got it. Okay, and I'm putting that link between the 2 parentheses. Now, in about 4 seconds, one of you is going to say, my code doesn't work because you put it after the parentheses or before the parentheses, okay? That doesn't work. Put it inside the parentheses, and you put it inside the normal parentheses. And then when you click that link text, it takes you to the link on that takes you to the links on links, okay? This is the link that goes to the links on links.
What?
Mine
There's too many links.
Okay, fine. We will also link to xkcd.com.
What is that?
It's a website.
Yay, it worked.
What is this?
It's a webcomic. It's the Turbo Nerd webcomic. If your level of nerditry is dummy thick, then xkcd will do the trick. Yes. I just want to say, once again, for the record, that I'm normal, okay?
I don't believe it.
Okay. So that's Dilly. You can also link images, and this isn't always the easiest thing to do in the world, but let's get an image. Perhaps of a lynx. We should link to a lynx. Wait. Oh, it's a WNBA team? That's based. Well, now I want the WNBA links. WNBA links. So I started doing something last year that everyone loved, where I started referring to the NBA as the men's WNBA. Everyone hated that.
Okay, that's super funny.
Okay, so if you're going to link to an image, by the way, a bunch of you are going to do this and it's not going to work, so I'm going to show you what you're going to do that's not going to work, okay? Here's a web page that happens to have an image on it, and you're like, oh, I know what I'll do. I will put the link inside an exclamation point, brackets, and then link text, right? And that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do heck, right? So what you have to do instead is you have to go to the web page that is of just the image, and it will end in .svg or something. So I'm going to open this image in a new tab, right? See that? Right? Do you see it? Are you gazing upon it? Are you looking at its majesty?
Looking right at it.
Would you describe the vibes as impeccable?
The vibes are impeccable.
Okay, so I'm going to open that. Okay, I would like to point out these two web pages look very different. This one has like text on it, right?
Right.
Right? Yeah. Disgusting. This one is an image. One of the ways you can tell it's an image is if I right-click this one, I can save the image as something. Right? Okay. I'm going to take this. I have no idea if this is going to work, by the way. And you put it in the dilly. A lot of people don't know this, but the dilly bar is actually named after Dillinger Markdown Editor.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you. I'm a teacher.
Who's that?
Yeah, you never lie to us.
The dilly bar?
You've never had that from Dairy Queen?
You've never had a dilly bar from Dairy Queen?
They've never had a dilly bar.
Where do you grill and chill if not at the Queen?
It's like softer with, yeah.
I want a dilly bar.
It's
Never.
There's, I mean, it looks exactly how it would
That is
taste.
so happy specific.
It's like, yeah, it's like soft-serve ice cream with a cherry chocolate.
I put a comic in that
Those are phenomenal. Ooh, I just
Okay.
don't like chocolate. I haven't had one like.
You can also put in footnotes. No one ever has put in a footnote in their life.
It's right there.
You can also put in sections. How do sections work?
That's so far.
Single octothorpe is big section. Double octothorpe is lil section.
how many octothorpes can you
get
count?
with the fact that it's called Octothorpe and not a
Ooh, that's cool.
Text. Another subsection. Or I would prefer to call them subseckies. Some text. Boom. Awesome. That's all you need to know. Good job. There's call out blocks. These are fake. They don't work.
Oh.
Tables are awesome, and we will learn them next week. Here's your homework. Do this.
Complete the GitHub skills lesson.
I know you're not going to find this. It's the last slide, okay? You're on home. Are any of you home?
No.
Okay. Markdown. Just go down.
I found it.
Right, so I'm like,
What
It
do
is a
you do?
footnote. There's 2 footnotes.
yes. I wonder where the footnotes go. Oh, I can go back to where they're from? Oh, look, it's a footnote,
That is
That's
crazy.
fine.
right?
I'm a footnote.
And you can mouse over them.
I'm a footnote.
I'm number 1, and I'm a footnote.
I'm number 1.
Take a look at tables if you're interested. That's Markdown. I think, do you have to go to your next class now?
So
Is it time?
Wednesday we're meeting at the library.
Yeah, we're meeting at the circulation desk.
Oh no, it's 1.